The 4-hour build challenge is back and it's crazier than ever. Me and some of the best builders in the world have one creative session to build an insane point of interest that is totally random with a fully working game mode. The build team consists of myself, Mad Moods, Gaba, Maka Makes, and of course, Mustard Plays. We spun the wheel and it landed on Greasy Grove. We spun again to decide the theme and it landed on Stone Age. We divided up all the tasks to everyone, and of course, I was assigned to build the game mode. As a group, we decided it'd be fun to make a gun game, but with the catch. You have to ride boars. Initially, I thought the mechanics were going to be very simple. It's just a gun game riding some boars, right? Well, there turned out to be a lot of one-off mechanics I had to create so it would run smooth. Not to mention, I only had 4 hours to build this. If you've never heard of the game mode gun game before, it's an assortment of weapons, and after each elimination, your gun will change. The first player to cycle through all their weapons wins. First thing I did was started to create the gun swap mechanic. This can be done many ways, but I decided to use the tracker device and an item granter method. Not only does this help with join in progress, but the trackers provide a nice HUD for direction. This gun game consisted of 12 guns you had to cycle through to win. I set up the tracker device to be weapon specific, and after the individual got an elimination, it would complete that tracker and assign a new tracker while also changing to a new weapon. I repeated those steps until I reached my final weapon, where I set the tracker to end the round and award the completing player a win. Next up, I had to create the mechanic for riding wildlife. I haven't really messed with this device in depth before, so this was a fun challenge. I had to hurry up though because time was running out. First, I had to create the mechanic that counted the total players that spawn in on game start and spawn in the same amount of boars. To save memory, I used the item granter method that sends bullets to all players on game start and then goes through a team specific trigger filter which will enable their boar. Now the next thing was setting up the mechanic for players to automatically start riding the boar. This mechanic caused some issues because depending on how many boars are needed to load in on start would increase their total spawn time. To fix this, I just used the timer device and I set it to signal per player on game start with a 5-second delay just to be safe. After the time was up, the player would then start riding their boar. The mechanics were almost complete, but I had to address a few more issues. One major issue is players can dismount from their boar while playing. I had to create a mechanic where if a player exits their boar, it would automatically put them back on it. This mechanic though was fairly simple, using the setting when a player dismounts from their boar to signal a 1-second timer to then automatically place that player back on their boar. The last minor issue was to make sure to keep all boars' energy full so their stamina doesn't run out, causing a player to be kicked off their board. To achieve this, I set up another timer device, and after 5 seconds, it sends a signal to all the wildlife devices to restore their energy. The final step was adjusting the map settings, and we were complete. I barely made it, just under 4 hours, but we did it. Here's the map code if you'd like to play. If you would like to see how this map was built and all the fun challenges we had to complete during the build, make sure to check out Mustard Plays. I'll leave a link to his video in the description.